Hey everybody, welcome back to Tired Old Queen at the Movies with Mr. Steve Hayes. Let's see what Steve has for us this week, but before we go over there, I just want to once again thank all of our subscribers. You guys have been great. Keep the comments coming. We love them. Steve loves answering you guys. So let's go see him.
Johnny! About time. Tired Old Queen at the Movies. Johnny, I thought we should do a Bette Davis movie, so I'm going to recommend Willie Wyler's The Little Foxes, starring Bette Davis and Herbert Marshall. Now, The Little Foxes had originally been a Broadway show starring Tallulah Bankhead and written by Lillian Hellman. And she wanted to write a story about greed in America, and she wrote about a family called the Giddens family. And they were two brothers and one sister. And the sister's name is Regina. And the brothers, they all run a cotton mill, and this is being bought up by a huge Chicago factory, and they're going to make millions of dollars. Now, Regina is as bright, if not brighter than her brothers, but because she's a woman and it's at the turn of the century, she doesn't get to have any say.
You're talking big tonight.
So this really plays on her.
Am I? Oscar, you should know me well enough by now to know I don't ask for things I don't think I can get.
So in order for her to get her share of the money, she has to get her husband, who's played by Herbert Marshall. Poor Herbert Marshall. He just suffered with Bette Davis in The Letter, you know. She has to get him to come back from Baltimore, where he has a very bad heart. So she sends her daughter, lovely Teresa Wright, in her first movie, up to get her father and bring him home. And she's got to talk him into going into a deal. And right away, he knows that for once, he has his wife under his thumb, and he's not going to sign on.
Thought you'd get the world for me. You were a small-town clerk then. You haven't changed.
There's a wonderful supporting performance in this by Patricia Collins. They took most of the Broadway company to do this movie. And Patricia Collins is Bertie, who's the poor gal who's married to one of the brothers, and he's horrible to her. She's the one sympathetic character who has a great influence over the daughter, and she's got a drinking problem. And there's a scene where she breaks down. She gets drunk and she starts talking about why her husband married her and that she's been trapped with the Giddens. And she turns to Teresa Wright. She goes,
Don't love me, because in 20 years you'll just be like me. They'll do all the same things to you. And you'll trail after them, just like me, hoping they won't be so mean to you that day or say something to make you feel so bad. Only you'll be worse off, because you won't have my mom.
She breaks your heart. She got an Oscar nomination for this. Dan Duryea is in this movie as the skeevy son of one of the brothers.
I can guess the kind of things you could do.
Oh, no, you couldn't.
And there's a terrific scene. Wyler's the master director that's done in a bathroom where they're both shaving. And he's revealing that he works at the uncle's bank, and he's opened up one of the safety deposit boxes and looked in when he's not supposed to. And this is what starts the whole final thing going, because there's a little bit of money that's embezzled. And Regina finds out about it.
What do you think of that? Yes, sir. And a lot of other crazy things, too. A poem, I guess it is. Signed with his mother's name.
There's a very famous scene where she knows her husband has a weak heart. She says, "You know, Horace, I've always known you had heart trouble, but I couldn't believe you'd get it so early and so bad. But I've always been lucky, Horace."
I'll be lucky again.
And he starts getting this heart attack, and she sits down in that chair. And Wyler takes the camera right up to Bette Davis. You will absolutely love the artistry, the majesty that was Bette Davis in her prime. William Wyler's The Little Foxes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves.
My gay son talked about Bette Davis an awful lot.
The popcorn can't be beat.